Hey, what is going on, guys? So Apple just wrapped up their high-speed event. At the time I'm recording this, it was about 30 minutes ago. So I want to give you some of my impressions about what was announced today and just kind of give you a recap of all the new products here. So this obviously was the iPhone event. I mean, we pretty much knew that this was going to be the iPhone event. I'm sure next month in November we'll see the Mac event. We might see the first Silicon Mac. And hopefully we see when Big Sur is going to be released. But anyways, this was all about iPhones and one other little thing here. So Apple kicked things off with the HomePod Mini. I guess they wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way because majority of the event, of course, was focused on iPhones. But yeah, here it is. This is the HomePod Mini. Quite the interesting design. Definitely wasn't expecting this. I was thinking it was going to be more like just a smaller normal HomePod, but this is the HomePod Mini, first addition to the HomePod lineup since the original HomePod was launched. And honestly, I think this is by far going to be the more popular choice for many people, and it's probably going to put a hurt on normal HomePod sales, but we'll just have to wait and see. So this is the little HomePod Mini, and this is the big thing here. It's just $99. Now when you compare this to something like the Google Home Mini, I believe that one's about $49 straight from the Google store, but you can find it all the time discounted well into like the $20 range. I paid $29 for mine. So this pricing, it sounds a little high possibly, but when you think about it, it's really not too bad. I mean, you're probably getting a better sounding speaker, and you're also getting that touch interface on top and all those colors right there as well that change. So I say $99 is reasonable. It's still obviously more expensive than the competition, definitely more expensive than the Amazon devices and the Google device as well. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, I use a Google Home Mini here in the office, and I'm definitely going to pick up one of these HomePod Minis and make a bunch of videos for you guys because I also want to be able to use this thing. I think it's going to be a very hot seller, and yeah, it's going to be good. So I'm very excited to try this out. It's only coming in at 3.3 inches tall, and it's got quite the punch for a little small speaker. It has computational audio, which is going to allow it to create the full tones of a much larger speaker. So even though it's small, it's going to sound great. It's also got the 360-degree audio. And this thing is also powered by the S5 chip, so the same one we saw in the Apple Watch Series 5 and the same one that's in the new Apple Watch SE. So it's going to be plenty powerful, but it's going to be using some complex tuning things to give you that big speaker sound, which is going to be really nice. Obviously, it works just like the current HomePod does, but there is some new features that are going to be put in this, just like the intercom feature here. So basically now, if you have more than one HomePod in your home, you can use it to basically send messages through your HomePod you talk to other HomePods. So for example, you can say to the living room, has the game started, and it's going to play that in the living room. Now this also will send this to your other devices as well, so we'll probably have a software update coming soon. You can see it right here, sending to your other devices. Even we'll play it through your AirPods, which I think is pretty funny. There's also some new home stuff here in the Home app, so it's kind of like a getting started section that allows you to easily see some things you might can do and set up in your home, and then obviously HomePod can control all that for you. Also, there's a new handoff experience, which I think is going to be really cool. Basically, it's going to detect when your phone is close, and if you're listening to something on your phone, all you got to do is walk up to HomePod and put your phone near it, and it will automatically switch whatever's playing from your phone to the HomePod. So that's going to be a nice feature too. And then it's also going to work just like the normal HomePods do. If you have two of them, you can make them a stereo pair. And then the final thing here is third-party streaming. So I'm proud of Apple for trying to, get off of just Apple Music, because they know that people want to listen to other third-party streaming services like Pandora, for example. So Apple announced that not only will you be able to ask Siri to play your podcast or Apple Music, you will soon be able to ask it to play stations from iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, or TuneIn Radio. Now, the only one that's missing is Spotify. I don't know why they won't include Spotify. Maybe they will in the future, but those are the new streaming services that are third party that you'll be able to use for HomePod. And then finally here, it'll come in either white or space gray, just like the current HomePod does. Again, it's not very large either, so it'll be able to fit in pretty much any space you want it to. And the HomePod Mini is going to be available to pre-order on November the 6th, and it'll be available on November the 16th. And like I said, guys, I definitely plan on getting one of these and replacing my Google Home Mini. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel and come November time, because you will want to see the many videos that I'll be making with the new HomePod Mini. Alright, so after the HomePod Mini, they got into the real main point of today's show, and that is the new iPhones. So first off, they started off with the iPhone 12, then they moved to the iPhone 12 Mini, and then finally the iPhone 12 Pro, and Pro Max of course. So we now have 4 new iPhones this year. And also Apple is continuing to sell the XR and the previous generation iPhone 11. So I think that's pretty interesting. And the SE, of course. Can't forget the SE. Let's go ahead and check out the 12 first. So Apple is kind of, in my opinion, going back in time a little bit, because this new design is the flat sides, the rounded off edges. But honestly, I don't mind, because I really love this kind of design. I literally thought immediately iPhone 5. That was the first thing that came to my mind. But like I said, this isn't a bad thing that we're going back to this design. I mean, look at it. It looks so nice, those rounded edges. And because of these rounded edges, it actually makes it thinner, smaller, lighter, and even allows for a slightly larger screen across the line. And of course, the iPhone 12 Mini, like I said, also introduced here alongside the iPhone 12. Now, I'm not going to lie, the iPhone 12 Mini, that thing surprised me, especially when they compared it next to the iPhone 8, and it was even smaller than that. So that is crazy. So if you have an iPhone SE, or you have an old iPhone 8, or even 7, or maybe 6, you just take that phone, you look at it, and the new Mini is slightly smaller than that, but the screen is still bigger. So it's really cool. I definitely think this will be popular, not only because it's cheaper than the other phones, but you know, there's a lot of people out there who don't want a big phone, and this right here is going to be a great option for a lot of people. You can see that the iPhone 12 Mini has the 5.4 inch display, and the iPhone 12 now has a 6.1 inch display. Now we'll talk about the Pro here in a moment. Well, let's continue on here. So obviously the main focus of today's iPhone launch, and they spent a lot of time on this, was 5G. So across the iPhone lineup, we now have 5G connectivity, all major carriers. They really pushed Verizon ultra wideband 5G, which I'm sure they were paid for that, but whatever. But look at that Mini. That's crazy. That thing is so small. I cannot get over that. We also have the new ceramic shield, so this is promising a much tougher front glass, and they're saying 4 times better drop protection. I cannot wait to see all the YouTubers buy these phones and try to break them, because that's going to be entertaining to see if that's actually the case. Also, these phones across the iPhone 12 lineup feature OLED displays now with that ceramic shield, and like I said, those OLED displays are able to be larger thanks to those new flat edges here on the phone. Now, I was tripping out a little bit watching the reveal. I could have sworn that the notch was smaller, but maybe it's because of this new design. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is the notch smaller or not? I just literally can't tell anymore. When they were, showing it, using the phone and all that, I swear it's smaller slightly, but apparently it's not. The A14 chip, we knew this was coming. So this is the A14 Bionic. It is the same chip that's in the Pro model, but this was obviously introduced with the iPad Air, so we knew that it was obviously coming. But yeah, we had the A14 Bionic. very super fast 6-core chip that was introduced in the iPad Air, but this is going to allow a lot of things like shooting in Dolby Vision. So yeah, it's going to be extremely fast. The camera system on the 12 model is still a dual lens camera. It's 12 megapixels, ultra wide and wide lens, and it's going to be much better here in night mode, which it's always unbelievable to see some of the pictures they show in these keynotes. But yeah, low light performance is going to be much better here even on the iPhone 12 model, and night mode and all that's going to be across the iPhone lineup as well. You now have Smart HDR3. But yeah, these cameras, pretty amazing. I might just have to get a new phone just to have a nice new camera, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Now here's something that really makes me upset because I want Magsafe on the Mac. But oh well, it has been revived, and it is now a wireless charging system that has magnets inside of your phone. So basically this is going to allow for precise alignment. So if you set your phone down on a wireless charging pad, you might not be exactly in the center, and then you are not even charging and you don't realize it, and then you wake up the next day and you don't have a charge. So this is basically going to allow for some really cool third-party accessories, and Apple is even introducing several of them to get things going, and it's pretty awesome, like this new wallet thing. Now, a lot of people use these kind of things on the back of their phone. I see it all the time. They're like little card holders, so this is a new magnetic accessory. The cases, Apple's cases, are going to be magnetic accessories, so you just put them in and the case snaps onto your phone. This little card holder will snap to either the back of your phone or the case. And Apple is even coming out with their own little MagSafe charger. So check this thing out, just snaps it right on. It's kind of like the Apple Watch charger, if you want to compare it to something. But yeah, that is now a thing, and I don't see the one that I was extremely excited about, but there's this new dual charger. Yeah, it's not even on here. Well, there's this new dual charger that is going to charge your Apple Watch and your phone, and it's a little folding kind of thing, folding deal. I'll see if I can find a picture, put it up on the screen for you, but I think that is amazing. But I don't know how much any of this stuff's going to cost or any of that, but you can see some of the cases, combinations you can do there. But yeah, MagSafe on the iPhone now, pretty interesting. But yeah, it's also kind of nice because I really want that new watch and phone charger. That'd be pretty cool. And finally here are the new colors. I love this blue color. So we have the new blue, green, product red, white, and black. And you also have that on the iPhone 12 as well. But yeah, this new blue color looks really good. It's interesting though because the new iPad Air is not this blue, but the iPad Air is this green. So I don't know what they're doing there, but I think this blue is going to be a super popular color on this. Also, you can get it in 64 gig, 128, or 256, and you obviously choose your choice. Do you want the Mini? Do you want the iPhone 12? You're definitely going to have to check it out in person. I know I'm going to, because it's quite interesting, honestly, to see how smaller this one is going to be compared to this one. So the iPhone 12 will be available to pre-order on 10/16, which is this coming Friday, and then it'll be available the following Friday on 10/23. And then the Mini is going to be a little bit later, going to be available to pre-order on November 6th, so the same day as the HomePod Mini, and then it'll be available the 13th of November. But yeah, that's the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Mini. Let me know what you think about the mini version of the iPhone as well as the iPhone 12. But finally, let's talk about the Pro. Look at how good this new gold color looks. It's incredible. So again, the 12 Pro features many of the same things that the 12 and 12 Mini do. So again, you get 5G, you get OLED, you get the new ceramic shield covering, and the new flat edge design, of course, and then the A12 Bionic chip. And the new design is making an even larger of a screen here on these Pro models. So if you get the Pro, you get the 6.1-inch screen, which is the same size as the 12, but now you get the 6.7-inch screen on the Pro Max. So these phones, the Pros, are bigger than the iPhone 11 Pros, which is pretty crazy. And the iPhone 12 Pro, only design change really here is the side is going to be stainless steel, and that allows for some pretty new color combinations here. So I'll show you those here in a second. Well, here they are right here. So we have a new blue color, we have the gold, we have the silver and the graphite. That gold color is just so cool. That is going to be probably the most popular one, I guarantee it. But yeah, stainless steel finish. You know, it shouldn't scratch, it shouldn't be too bad, but you're definitely going to want to put a case or something on it. Obviously 5G, we already talked about that. The main thing with the 12 Pro, of course, or any iPhone Pro, is the camera. So the 12 Pro features a new LiDAR sensor. We pretty much guessed that that was coming as well. Again, they're focusing on the night mode, so these 3-camera array here is going to make it much better night mode with the wide and ultra wide cameras, and then the LiDAR is going to help out the Pro a little bit more than it will the normal 12. But they really pushed the night mode photos, and I can see why when you look at some of these, because it is pretty incredible to actually see it. It is important to note though that the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max have some slight differences between cameras. So even though they both have 3 cameras, you'll notice that the ultra wide is the same. The wide has different pixels, and obviously the new sensor shift, which is kind of a DSLR thing that basically provides some incredible video stabilization. And then the telephoto lens, the Pro Max has the better aperture and the better focal length. So if you want the best absolute camera possible, you definitely need to upgrade to the Max. And this is the new Apple Pro RAW. So this is going to give you the standard RAW information along with some Apple image pipeline data. So this is going to allow you to have obviously the RAW photos. So you're going to be able to edit them on the phone and change them and all that good stuff. So that'll be coming soon. And then again, the Dolby Vision recording in HDR. So that's going to be pretty wild to see as well. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it for the iPhone 12 Pro. I mean, it's focused, of course, on those cameras, and it gets the Magsafe as well. But yeah, so incredible cameras on the Pro, really changing the way things are done with those cameras. It's pretty nice to see. But it gets the, you know, better deep fusion, smart HDR, all that stuff. Again, if you want the best absolute camera possible, you better get the Pro Max. Oh, and speaking of that Dolby Vision, I forgot to mention this. This is going to be 10-bit HDR at 60 frames in 4K. I mean, that's the first ever phone to ever be able to do something like that. So again, another first here on the Pro Max and Pro. You can take a look at those colors again real quick. So the silver, graphite, gold, and the Pacific blue. I think the gold or the blue is the way to go. It's just my opinion. Also, the storage is going to be starting at 128 gigabytes on these Pro models, but they're keeping the same pricing as the iPhone 11 Pro, so that is very nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at this whole lineup just real quick here. So the iPhone 12 mini, I'm not sure if I mentioned the pricing. That one's going to start at $699. The 12 will start at $799, and the Pro will start at $999. And then if you want a Pro Max, that'll start at $1,099. The 12 and the Mini will feature 64 gigs of base storage, while the Pro will feature 128 gigs. And the final thing to talk about with these new phones, and this is actually across the iPhone lineup. So this includes the SE and the 11 as well as the 10R. So they've made these changes today. You no longer get a power adapter or earpods in the box. You only get the phone, a USB-C to lightning cable, which that's a new addition, so that's pretty nice, and documentation. And that's it. It's important to note though that you need a USB-C power adapter in order to use it, or you have to plug it in your computer or something like that, or you just use a standard Lightning to USB cable, but whatever, USB-C will do fast charging, so that's very nice. And because of this, that is going to allow a much smaller box, and let me see if I can find a picture of the box. Alright, so here is the iPhone 12 Pro box, very nice. You can see the color you choose will be in the iPhone logo and the Apple logo, with a preview of the phone on the front, but it's going to give you a much smaller, clean looking box, so that's pretty nice. And just to show you this, in case you guys don't believe me, we'll go to the iPhone XR and we will go to the tech spec page, and you can see that right here we're on the iPhone XR. We scroll down and it says what's in the box: USB-C to Lightning cable and the iPhone. That's it. So literally this change has been made today, so if you still want the iPhone 11 or a XR or even the new SE, just note that you will not be getting a power adapter or headphones in the box. One final note, Apple has also just released iOS 14.1 and iPadOS 14.1, so I'll be making some videos about that as soon as possible. But that's it, guys. That's all I got for you today. What did you think about the Apple October event? What is your favorite thing they announced? Will you be getting one of these new iPhones, or will you be picking up one of the HomePod Minis? Let me know down in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, supporting the channel as always, and I will catch you all in the next video.